Hello, puppies. You are welcome to General Studies class. I am Uncle Popo. I believe you are ready for today's lesson. If you are ready, I am ready. Let's start with the usual way we open our lesson. Uncle Popo is here. I am also here. That's the response. We are here together. 100% attention. 100% attention is what I need from you. Today's subject is basic science and technology. Basic science and technology. In our last lesson, we discussed about friction. And I remember you were taught a short song about friction. Let's quickly sing the song. Friction is a force that opposes motion when two surfaces in contact. Friction is a force that opposes motion when two surfaces in contact. We talked about friction, that is a force that opposes motion when two surfaces are in contact. We also discussed about the effect of friction, advantages and disadvantages of friction. We are looking at another very simple topic today. Let's look at this. Now, this is a question. I want to ask you a question. Look at the object on the screen. What do you think this object is? Good. The object on the screen are nails. If you're asked to pick all these nails, how long will it take you to pick? If you're asked to pick, some are saying 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Good. And when you are picking these nails, if you are not very careful enough, you may be injured with it. So if you are asked to use something to pick it, to attract it, what do you think you can use to attract all these nails and to make you pick faster and without being injured? Some are saying, I'm hearing different kind of things, but some people are saying magnet. Yes, magnet will help you to pick these nails without being injured, and it will pick it faster. So that leads us to today's topic. The topic for today is magnetism. And here are the learning objectives. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe and identify a magnet. 2, state the properties of a magnet. 3, explain uses of magnets. And lastly, list methods of making magnets. Now let's look at the picture here. You can see different kinds of magnets here. Magnet, this is also magnet. In case, for the people that have not even seen magnet before, I know few people may be among you that have not seen magnet before. But you can see the picture here. These are magnets, different types. Now, let's look at what a magnet is. A magnet is an object which can attract iron or steel materials to itself. A magnet is an object which can attract iron or steel materials to itself. That means magnets attract anything metallic to itself. Any material, steel or iron, magnet can attract. What about magnetic material? A magnetic material is a material that can be attracted by a magnet. Magnetic material is a material that can be attracted by a magnet. Examples like coin. I know some of you will have seen coin before. Office pin, iron finish, nail, or any iron or steel materials. They are magnetic material. A non-magnetic material. A non-magnetic material is a material that cannot be attracted by a magnet. A non-magnetic material is a material that cannot be attracted by a magnet. What are they? Like paper, rubber, wood, cloth, and some other examples that you can mention. We move on now to the properties of a magnet. When we say properties, we are referring to the special quality or characteristic of a magnet. That is, anything we call magnet, what must it have? 1. The properties of a magnet. Magnets attract objects made of metal, iron, or steel. Magnets attract objects made of metal, iron, or steel. That's one of the properties of a magnet. 2. Magnets have 2 poles, the north and south poles. Magnets have 2 poles, north and south poles. Like here now, this is the north, this is the south pole, the north and south poles. Another property of a magnet is the force of attraction is greater at its poles than in the middle. The force of attraction is greater at its poles than in the middle. What we are talking about here is that the force of attraction is greater when the south and the north are facing each other. They attract easily than at the middle. The force of attraction is greater at its poles than in the middle. That is greater at the north and the south pole. Next is like poles repel while unlike poles attract. Like poles repel while unlike poles attract. The like poles, this is the like poles, the north and the north, they repel. The north and the north will repel. But the south and the north will attract. The south and the north, because magnet has 2 poles, the north and south poles, the south and the north will attract, while the north and the north of the 2 magnets will repel. That's another property of a magnet. Let's look at this short video to educate us more about magnets. Watch.
Ivan, what are you doing? I love soup so much. I'm trying to get this can to come to me just by thinking really hard about it. I wouldn't spend too much time on that experiment. Whoa! It's happening! Wait, are you tricking me with magic? Nope, not magic. It's science. This is a magnet, Izzy, and it can pull some kinds of objects towards it without even touching them. What kinds of objects? I'll show you. You just saw it move this soup can. That's because the soup can is made of steel, and steel has a metal called iron in it. And magnets work great on iron. Metal with iron, huh? Hey! It sticks to these metal scissors! But magnets won't pull this plastic cup or rubber band. But it sure likes the snail. See?
Welcome back. Uncle Popo is here. I believe you are also there. You've learned a lot about magnet. Let's look at types of magnet. We have temporary magnet and permanent magnet. Temporary magnet and permanent magnet. Temporary magnets are made of soft metals and only retain their magnetism while near a magnetic field or electric current. What we are saying here is that the word temporary, it means it doesn't last long. It doesn't stay there for a long time. So here, it retains the magnetism while a magnetic field or electric current are close to each other. So that's temporary magnet. Next is permanent magnet. That retains their magnetic properties in the absence of an inducing field or current. The major important thing here is the types of magnet, the temporary magnet and the permanent magnet. Now we move on to the uses of magnet. Uses of magnet. 1. Magnets are found in different electronic devices like computers, televisions, radios, speakers, telephones, generators. Magnets are in all these. I am not saying that after this lesson you should go and break your radio or your television or your computer that you want to see that magnet that's inside. Magnets are inside all those things, but don't try to break your device to check. Next is magnets are used to move very large objects in factories. Magnets are used to move very large objects in factories. I will show you a picture to see where they use magnets to move very large objects in the factories. Next is magnets are used in filtering machines to separate metal fillings from non-metals. We use magnets to separate the metal fillings from non-metals. Pictures will also show you what I'm talking about. Let's look at the pictures of what I've talked about. Here, you can see that magnet here is used to pull heavy object or metal here. Once it comes out, with the use of magnet that it pulls this up, it will also attract all the metallic objects down here. They use this in factory to pull heavy object. That's one use there. And the magnetic needle we talked about in pointing a direction is also with the use of magnet here. The dark strip at the back of your ATM card, this is it. That's why when you want to insert your card, you see that at the point it will draw the ATM card into the machine. That's with the use of magnet there. We also talked about magnet can be found in the speakers, in the headphones. Those are the uses of magnet. We move on to making of magnets. We have different ways through which magnets can be made. And these are the ways. The first one is induction method. What did I say? Induction method. The next is stroking method. Say that. Stroking method. And the last one is electrical method. Say that. Electrical method. All these methods, you get to know more about them in your secondary school. But what is more important now is to know that we have different ways through which magnets could be made. And these are the methods we have listed: the induction method, stroking method, and electrical method. Now we have come to the end of today's lesson. In today's lesson, we talked about what a magnet is, that a magnet is an object which can attract iron or steel materials to itself. We talked about the properties of magnet, and we also talked about the uses of magnet. We talked about types of magnet and ways through which magnets could be made. From today's lesson, we have questions to test if you had listened attentively. Here are the questions. 1. What is a magnet? 2. List 2 properties of magnets. 3. State 2 uses of magnets. Your time starts now. Welcome back. Uncle Popo is here. I believe you are also there. Now, let's check the answers to the questions. These are the answers on the screen. A magnet is an object which can attract iron or steel materials to itself. That's question 1. Question number 2, 2 properties of magnet. 1, magnet attract objects made of metal, iron, or steel. Magnet have 2 poles. That's the north and south poles. The force of attraction is greater at its poles than in the middle. That's another property. Like poles repel, while unlike poles attract. These are the properties of magnets. That's for number 2 question. And the third question, say 2 uses of magnets. Magnets are found in different electronic devices like your computers, television. 2, magnets are used to move very large objects in factories. And the third one, magnets are used in filtering machines to separate metal fillings from non-metals. You can pick any two from these. Mark accordingly and score yourself. We have come to the end of today's lesson. Until next time, next lesson. Uncle Popo says, bye.